Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. It is the Chad Prather Show. Glad you guys are here. We have no idea what we're going to get into, but it's going to be fun. I guarantee you that. I told you there's going to be a big announcement yesterday, and it came, it happened. We will talk about that, fill you in on what I know on that big announcement. Pretty exciting stuff when you really think about it. Make sure that you are in the chat today. Keep that thing fired up, because sometimes we get going along, and then 15 minutes from now, people will be joining in, because our numbers, they just kind of pick up as the show goes on. Make sure to engage. Keep on engaging, even if I forget to remind you. You don't need reminders from me. Come on, just blow up the chat and see what you got to say. But also leave us a comment down below. Rub that little thumbs up right there. Rub that button. Let us know you like the show. Go to where podcasts are offered. Leave us a 5-star rating. It's what we deserve. And a review. And make sure you're subscribed on Rumble and YouTube. Winning. That's what we're trying to do. I like what happened yesterday. I like what I saw coming out of the White House with Volodymyr Zelensky and the European Union leaders there with Trump. It was a lot of winning, if you ask me. Obviously, we'll see how these things play out, but I think the diplomacy is in place. You know, winning, and I want to talk to you guys about it. Winning, I had a company call last night with our Make Wellness group, and it was the entire company-wide call. And they gave me about, 15, 20 minutes to talk, and it was just a fantastic opportunity to just kind of spill my heart out a little bit. We had a good time on that deal. But basically talking about intentionality, talking about winning, talking about being successful and how to grow and all of these things. And so I've just been on this thing about how winning starts long before the scoreboard lights up or the paycheck clears, you know. And I'm feeling real motivational today. And I just believe that winning begins in the unseen. It's what happens up here, right? We talk about winning in our country, winning politically, winning a culture war, winning in our businesses, our relationships, all those things. All of that happens when it starts up here. It all starts in the way we talk to ourselves when nobody else is listening. See, the psychology of winning is not about arrogance or pretending you got it all figured out. It's about cultivating this mindset that says, no matter what comes at me today, I can't be beaten. I'm learning. I'm always moving forward. And winners will always understand that failure is not final. It's feedback. Failure is not final. It's feedback. You don't get stuck in the mud of setbacks. You build the ladders out of them. Attitude is the engine. You could be the most talented person in the room, but if you carry a sour, negative, cynical outlook, you're going to sabotage yourself before the race even begins. So get a great attitude today. It's contagious, by the way. It elevates your energy. It influences the people around you. It pulls opportunity towards you. You literally start attracting it like a magnet. When you walk into a room with a spirit of gratitude and confidence and optimism, and you know what's going to happen, you're going to change the atmosphere. People want to follow that. People want to invest in that. People want to be a part of that. And here's the secret. Winners don't just think they're positive. They don't just think it. They think resilient. It's not just about thinking positivity and motivation. No, it's resilience. It's not Pollyanna optimism. It's choosing to believe even in the storm that the sun is still above the clouds. It's refusing to be defined by yesterday's failures. It's taking responsibility for your mindset every single day, because your thoughts are going to shape your words. Your words are going to shape your actions. Your actions are going to build your destiny. It's good stuff. Winning isn't luck. Winning is a discipline of mind. Waking up, deciding today, I'm not going to be defeated by circumstances. Today, I'm going to lead with my joy. I'm going to build something that matters. See, the psychology of winning is realizing that the external victories, the promotions, the trophies, all the applause, byproducts, folks. They're byproducts. That's not the real winning. True victory is mastering the inner world, the inner self, because when you win there, the rest of your life has no choice but to follow. So we're winning today, folks. That's my little motivational speech for the day. I don't know. Maybe we'll get into some more, but I think we got a bunch of winners in here. Let me see. If you want to be a winner, yes or no? Nobody ever says they don't want to be a winner. Nobody ever says, I'm good. I'm good being mediocre. I always joke about it, but damn, it's true. The reason I've been successful in everything that the things that I do is because I know where the mediocrity lies, and that's a lot of it, but I know how to take enough mediocre things, put them all together, and make it look like a pretty good product. I know how to do that. People are like, wow, he does all these different things. Yeah, but none of them exactly well. But I know how to put them together and win. And I have it with optimism because I've won that inner battle. Won that inner battle. And I'm determined to be resilient no matter what comes. That's right. Yesterday's failures. That's just feedback, baby. That's just feedback for where you're going. When you know where you are going, you got a lot of life left in front of you. I don't care what you're going through. You got a lot of life. You got a lot of breaths still left to take. And as you get into your future, I want to make sure that it is secured financially with our friends over at Birch Gold. You like that segue. Birch Gold. Text CHAD. I spell it Chad to 989898. Birch Gold. A+ rated Better Business Bureau business that is, they've been doing this thing for years, man. And they got tens of thousands of satisfied customers. They know how to take your savings, your IRA, your old 401k, roll it over into a tax-sheltered IRA that's backed by physical gold. No matter what's going on with the devaluation of the dollar or the volatility of the market, gold is going to be there. It's going to be the standard. If you'd have done this a year ago, you'd already be up 40%. Gold's going to keep going up. Gold is going to continue to value. And so you need to make sure Birch Gold will help you. And they will. All you got to do is text Chad to 989898. They will send you a free no obligation information kit. They will tell you how to diversify over into that tax sheltered IRA. They'll walk you through the process. Good people. We love them. We know them. They're good friends and they are trustworthy. So give them a shout. Text Chad to 989898. They will take care of the rest. You get that money sitting around. Do something with it, man. Back it up, my gold. Speaking of a guy who's got a heart of gold, then he's a winner too. Party Foul Steve.
Hey, speaking of mediocre.
Dang, bro. Yeah. Dang. What's that about?
I'm a professional mediocreite.
No, you're good.
If that's a thing.
You're an extra miler, dude. I say that at you and David all the time. You're extra milers. You know what I mean when I say that? So back when Jesus said, if someone compels you to go a mile, go with them a second mile. So back during those days, under Roman occupation, there were mile markers that led to the center of Rome, and they went out. Those mile markers went out all over the Roman Empire, right? So you'd be walking through Jerusalem, you'd be walking through, Judea, all those places. It was all under Roman rule. They had mile markers. We're used to seeing those on the interstate here. But everything led back to the center of Rome. So a Roman soldier could compel a citizen. They couldn't deny it. I mean, they couldn't refuse it. They would compel a citizen to come carry their equipment for a mile. You could compel them to do it for a mile. And they didn't like that. Imagine being a Jew. You're out working in the field. You're a little farmer. Roman soldier comes by. He's got his gear. And he says, hey, come carry this. You had to go carry it for a mile. They hated that.
Well, I kind of find that hard to believe because I think they use kilometers over there.
No. You get the point. You get the point. But there were markers that led to Rome. All right. And what Jesus said was, if somebody compels you to go one, go with them the second. And the reason is because it would disarm them. It would disarm the person because instead of grumbling and griping, just say, no, I'll go ahead and walk with you a second mile too. Yeah. They weren't ready for that. And that opens up the door for a whole lot of good things.
I think that's the way we were, it's the way I was raised. My parents instilled that within me and surely from biblical, teachings, but that's kind of always, and I tried to teach that to my kids as well.
These influencers out here doing all the stuff that they do, we really do have a society that's not paying attention. Because they've always got cameras in their faces and they're always looking for content, trying to do something else. There were some food influencers there in Houston. They're doing a burger review sitting at the, I'll just play the clip. Here's what happens.
Boom.
Messed up all that food.
Did they do that on purpose or for content?
No. That dude right there better be glad he didn't get shredded by all that glass landing on him right there.
Kidding.
I mean, they fixing to take that bite. That's what happens when you don't say the blessing.
I just like, Man, that reminds me of the time I was a kid and I was riding up to I don't remember what the name of the store was with my grandma, and it has one of them rails in front of it, and she ran the front bumper up on top of that rail. And the kind of front tires came off the ground. Well, she backed off of it. She said, "Don't tell your mama."
Yeah, no kidding. Those chicken wings look dang good, though. Look at that.
You think that was an old person driving, or was that a foreigner?
I don't know the details. I don't know the details.
I want to know is his name, what's his name is.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, but I want to find out where that place is because I want to go get some of those chicken wings. Chicken wings look pretty good. But oh boy, he was. I saw one comment under this that he didn't do anything to protect her. What do you go do? He just got hit by a car.
He used his body. His
entire body was in the way. Good Lord. Anyway, there is a
never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention, man. People are more interested in content than they are anything else. Okay, Robbie Starbuck, our buddy, he's got a deal. Says, I got a PhD from Berkeley. This is a person's video. I got a PhD from Berkeley. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. And I can't get a job to save my life. Now, what do you think that would be? Play the clip.
Getting crushed by capitalism is like so cringe, but it's like it's happening to me. And like I got a PhD from Berkeley and like I can't get a job to save my life. Like I got a soil biology PhD and like now I'm a tutor and a babysitter and a dog sitter. And
what's her degree in?
Part of that is because soil like biology. I don't want to like move to some random place in the middle of nowhere. But like the other half is like they cut all the funding for science and like the biotech market is just like absolutely cratered and like I have long COVID, so it's difficult for me to work like a full-time job and just like I got on here to rant a little bit. But like, oh my God, like what do we do? I just have to work.
Yeah.
How many excuses, do you have? Okay, first you got a shitty degree that you can't do nothing in. Now you have long COVID.
How many excuses? And I can only work a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And what was her degree in? What kind of biology?
Soil biology.
Soil biology?
You should be out on a farm somewhere testing soil, I guess.
I don't know. I think that maybe if she wouldn't walk into a job interview with all those excuses and then quit using the word like you say you have a PhD, lady, you got a doctorate and you can't stop using the word like in a sentence every time. And you know what? How many soil biologists does this world really need? Let's be honest. We got all that farmland. She could be out there, but where's she at? Where's she at? Sitting in the middle of a city? And got a degree in something. If you're going to go get a degree, kind of know what you're headed into before you go get that degree. Yeah. Soil. I don't even know what that is. Do you deal with the hermaphroditic worms? I don't know what's going on.
Checking pH in the soil.
The woman was kidnapped at Oklahoma casino by 2 illegal aliens and repeatedly raped. Horrible. Suspects were identified as 35-year-old Luis Miguel Dominguez and Jose Fernandez Los Morales. ICE got him. Play the clip.
The 2 men apprehended are shown right here. We have Jose Morales here on the left. He's accused of kidnapping. And then on the right, there's Luis Dominguez. He faces kidnapping, sodomy, and rape charges. The Cali County Sheriff tells me they're both being held on this ICE detainer, so they could be deported. Our Kansas City police telling us the 2 are accused of taking a woman against her will from a casino in Newkirk, Oklahoma, so just right across that state line. The woman says that she was sexually assaulted by both those suspects, and they brought her to Ark City. Police followed up on a tip and went to South 6th Street. That's on the south side of town, and they were able to find the suspects and the victim. She was taken to the hospital for treatment. The 2 men apprehended are shown.
Here's the deal, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. These guys are in this country because of Democrat policies. They're in here because of Biden administration federal policy. That's why they're here. You prove them guilty. I don't think that's going to be hard to do given the nature of this case. And then you take them out in the street and that's over. You don't deport them. Done deal.
They could be taken care of right at home.
Done deal. 188-DHS-2-ICE. That's the number you call. The number 2, ICE. 888-DHS, number 2, ICE. That's how you report illegals. There you go. Blood on the hands of an administration.
This is daily. This is every single day, multiple cities, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
It's don't get me wrong. I understand we have our own problems with our own people, but we don't need any extra help from outsiders.
Yeah, this is, you got the ICE hunters. This is Providence, Rhode Island. I know that strikes fear in your heart, Steve, when I say Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Or you see this fat ass. I mean, look at the landmass on this kid. They've got ICE hunters. They're putting together a little army.
Let them interfere with arresting some people. That's it. They'll get arrested too.
Today, we chased out ICE out of our community for the second time this week. We received a report that there were ICE agents in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood. We dispatched a volunteer to Huron and Regent Street. We were able to identify 4 ICE agents on Huron Street in vehicles, and then we identified 2 more in surrounding streets. We did a lot of patrolling and following them in vehicles. We got more volunteers on the scene to make sure that we could keep this community safe. We had folks door knocking. We had folks patrolling by foot. We also had folks confronting the ICE agents, and they were chased out of the neighborhood successfully. Today's victory just points to the necessity, right?
She hadn't chased anything. That girl ain't chased nothing but a burrito in her entire life. I mean, this chick, you can see her from space, all right? So, first of all, look at a neck roll on this kid. Look at a neck crease. I guarantee she got poor man beads. You know what poor man beads are when you got that dirt in your neck crease? You know, when you've been playing in the yard, little boys out there, I guarantee you she's got it. Can you imagine the air pockets in the fat rolls and what those smell like on this chick? And she's going to talk about she's chasing things. She ain't chasing nothing but another Chinese buffet. Charlie Kirk said the mere existence of sanctuary cities is one of the most incomprehensible aspects of the present political moment. We have clear-cut, completely constitutional laws regulating immigration. It's considered completely normal for dozens of our largest cities and states to not just ignore, but actively flout these laws up to and including criminalized behavior, and gives assistance to the federal agents enforcing our laws. It's a direct choice to choose a more dangerous, more disordered, less pleasant country. It's also a calculated, systematic effort to undermine America being an actual country with a border. It shouldn't be allowed. Every public sector official who upholds sanctuary laws is aiding in a conspiracy to violate the laws of the United States and should be charged accordingly. Amen, Charlie.
As I say, they're breaking federal law, right?
Yeah, and then you got this fat punk who, again, we put the clip out there yesterday on my social media of when the girl was like, you can choose another career. You could be a veterinarian. And that ICE agent turned around on the escalator and said, you could choose to eat a salad. Like, these I could insult them some more, but what's the point? God's already done enough in their life to make them understand that they don't have any role. I try to love people. Steve. I really do, but they make it hard these days.
I wake up every morning, thank God I'm not a lefty liberal.
Yeah.
Looking for excuses for whatever they can, blame on Trump or anything else.
It is. Play this clip. Look at me. This ICE agent's clapback is legendary. Play the clip. Who in the ICE agents coming up the escalator? I want to give him the Joker clap, little Heath Ledger. Oh, man. DC Drano. Oh, man. He said, Democrats don't want crime to go down. They don't want the border closed or illegal aliens to be deported. They don't want peace being negotiated for foreign wars. They don't want Americans getting married or having families. They don't want people speaking English or getting good educations. They don't want toxins taken out of their food or free speech on social media. They don't want God in our hearts. Why? Because deep down they hate America and they want to destroy it. They've become bureaucratic puppets of hostile foreign powers like China and the EU. They hate America and they want to destroy it. Good on you, Roga. That's a good point. And it's true.
I guess they just think people are just going to naturally do the right thing. And they prove over and over that people are not going to, without law and order, they're not going to.
Well, people are evil. First of all, people are sinful in their nature. Their hearts are desperately wicked and deceitful above all things, according to the prophet Jeremiah, and that's true. Paul says in the book of Romans, talks about how their feet are swift to run towards evil. Their tongues are filled with lies. People are evil. But these people don't want productivity. They don't want peace. They don't want prosperity. They don't want any of that. They thrive on dysfunction and chaos. That's why they put bricks out on the corner and throw them through the roof, through the windows. That's why they believe in riots. That's why they believe in burning down their own cities. That's why they believe in just, chaos and craziness and confusion. And that's why they can never make a point. All they do is make noise. They listen to how many times they repeat themselves. You get these guys get there and they just say something, say something, say something. You don't have anything to say, so you just you just continue to repeat yourself over and over again. And they've been brainwashed by the globalist, Barack Obama, who wanted to, bring America down to the level of everything else. You can't ask people to assimilate into a country if you've taught them to hate that country. If you've been taught that this country exists to victimize people, then you're not going to support this country. And that's what they've been taught. That's what they've been taught. Steve.
Yeah, and capitalism is a bad thing. They just hadn't figured out capitalism. It hadn't worked for them. They haven't, so they want to take it away from everybody else.
Well, it goes back to the old girl in her car back there a minute ago where we started this whole thing. She says, she's being victimized by capitalism. Forget the fact that capitalism has done more to lift people out of poverty in the world over the course of history than any other system of economy. These people want something for nothing.
I was going to say the people that hate capitalism the most are the ones that aren't doing anything. They want their handouts.
Yeah, they've done nothing. They've done nothing. I mean, really, give me a welder, give me a pipe fitter, give me a plumber, give me a guy that gets the power on in the middle of the night. Gives me somebody that builds something. I don't need a soil biologist who's just going to bitch about can't get a job. Yeah, you know why you can't get a job? Because you have a degree, an advanced degree in soil biology. I got to look it up.
You got to look it up. I'm sure they're testing the pH balance of the soil.
I mean,
you would think that would work good for farmers. Like she should be out on a ranch or in a farm. Or maybe she should be an environmental protection agency, checking the soil around these plants and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, soil isn't just dirt. It's a living ecosystem full of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, earthworms, insects, and more. It comes with the study of all living organisms within the soil. This girl, she's like Dumb and Dumber. We got worms. Our pets' heads are falling off. Look.
But I mean, that seems like a very specific, job. There are jobs that, of course, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. But you got to look at the job market.
Let's see. How hard is it for them to get a job?
Soil biology is gay.
It's gay. It is gay.
What is happening?
You know what? Let's be optimistic. They're adding about 1,500 new jobs in the realm of soil and plant science positions. Over the course of 10 years, 23 to 33, 7% growth in that field. Solid growth, 1,500. It's slower than the 8% they projected, though. Around 2004, job vacancies in soil and plant science roles have risen nearly 44%. That's 2.75% per year. Further growth is expected around 4% annually. So look at there. There could be like 5,000 job openings by 2029. Look up, honey.
Not only that, she could go be a school teacher. She has a degree, and she could
PhD. She could teach college like those other retards.
Yeah, go right into teaching. It's
yeah. I mean,
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it is, except you perpetuate the same bullshit into the next generation. I mean, you know, your median wage is about $71,000. Oh, she could, I mean, all kind of stuff. I think what it means is she likes to grow mushrooms and take them.
Yeah, probably so. And she could go be a manager at a fast food restaurant too.
She could do that. She could get a job doing that. She could,
decent
well,
money.
she said she's babysitting. I mean, God forbid you're the parent that hires that to babysit your child. But yet here we are. I mean, surely there's somebody out there growing weed in California or Oregon or Oklahoma. You know, go out there and grow some weed, girl. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about that. Oh, toxic masculinity, man. Toxic masculinity, RFK, Bobby Kennedy, and Pete Hegseth, they teamed up for do the new workout program. These boys are doing stuff I can't do. I mean, Bobby Kennedy's 72 years old.
They're doing some yoga.
They're doing some stuff. They're doing the pull-ups and the push-ups, and they're challenging themselves. And go ahead and let Bobby talk there.
Hi, I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You're HHS Secretary. I'm here with Secretary Hegseth from the Department of Defense. And we had our big Pete and Bobby challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. You try to get under 5 minutes. How'd you do?
We got close. I was about 5:25. You were right behind me.
We had a couple of Marines here.
One beat 3 minutes, a couple beat 4 minutes. Pretty impressive.
It was President Trump who inspired us to do this. This is the beginning of our tour, challenging Americans to get back in shape, eat better, but also you need to get out and exercise. And we have a challenge. There's another cabinet member who we hoped would show up today. We told him there was a cabinet meeting here. But anyway, we want to send out a challenge to Sean Duffy to come and do this.
So Secretary Duffy, you're invited to do the Pete and Bobby challenge. Can you do it in under 5 minutes? 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. What do you think?
You can beat 6 minutes. You can be part of this.
And yes, thank you, President Trump, for setting the example. Presidential physical fitness, make America healthy again. Fit, not fat. We're going to have a war-fighting force with young men and women who are prepared to defend the nation. We're doing it as a team. Join us. Appreciate you.
Military workouts are some of the fastest getting you into shape.
Yeah, no question about it. Did you do any push-ups today?
No, I haven't done any yet. I do mine right after the show.
I did mine. I
know. I'm slacking in the.
I did my push-ups. I can't do pull-ups. Never have been able to. Not my shoulders just don't bend that direction. Underhanded a little bit, but overhanded not so much. Not so much.
There was a time I could, but
yeah, I've never been good at them. Even when I was in the best shape of my life, not great at pull-ups, but push-ups I can do. Still got the upper body strength. Do the body weight squats now, man. I try to do those every day too. Get after it. You know, some of that body weight stuff works for you, man. Yeah. But Bobby Kennedy, RFK, he reveals shocking testosterone information. Woo, watch out now. Watch out. Don't get touchy. Play the clip.
Spiraling. A teenager today, an American teenager, has less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. Sperm counts are down 50%.
Wait, an American teenager has less testosterone than a 60-year-old man?
That's right, because the testosterone levels have dropped 50% from historic levels. And, you know, and that is a problem. And it's an existential problem. But that is only when we have obesity. That is off the charts. Yeah. Again, when my uncle was president, we had about 11% of kids had obesity. Today, 74% of Americans are obese or overweight. And, you know, in Japan, it's 3%. So, you know, and that's because they pay attention to what they're feeding kids in school.
Yeah, the Japanese are very skinny, except for the sumo wrestlers. Those people, not so skinny.
Yeah. Testosterone's a powerful hormone, Steve. Got to get some of that.
Look at all the junk we're putting in the food. It always goes back to all the over processed foods, all the additives that they add to food to make it last longer, to change the color of it, to change the taste of it. It's got to have a side effect. There's no way it cannot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We're putting some stuff.
Hormones in the milk.
Yeah, all kind of stuff going on. I'm reading labels now more than ever, and I've always been a label reader. I've always checked stuff out, trying to go high protein as much as possible with this stuff, man. Yeah, that's why everybody needs to get on some of that Make Wellness as well. Yeah, I see you guys in the chat. We're all fat, aren't we? Man, gotta keep an eye on it, man, especially as we get older.
Bad, but I'm kind of just hanging. I'm hanging in there, though. Just, I'm not gaining. I'm not losing.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith, I never know which side of the fence Stephen A. is on. I never really care either. But I think little by little, the more these things come out of your mouth, the more you start to convince yourself that what you say it actually is common sense. And Stephen A.'s going to give you a little bit right here. Play the clip.
We ain't going to act like he caused this now. It's Democrats in office. It was Biden in office when a full-fledged war against Ukraine took place, courtesy of Russia's instigation, no matter what they try to say to Trump. It was Russia that invaded Crimea, and that was under the Obama administration. It was Clinton in office when you made a deal that disarmed the Ukraine and therefore weakened them, leaving them dependent on the United States. And now, here they are having to beg for support that they're owed because of what we promised them as a nation. We promised them this. You owe it to the Ukrainians. You absolutely do. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I like spending billions of our taxpayer dollars to them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is promises made are supposed to be promises kept. You promised them America.
Well, I will say this. Promises made need to be promises kept to the American people. I don't know how much we promised the Ukrainian people or what the motivation was behind doing it. Anyway, Steve.
Well, he's coming over to our side slowly but surely.
I don't think he ever will. But
coming to the middle, and that'll bring more. Bring more. I don't know. Does he have a bigger black audience than he does a white audience?
I don't know. I don't have a clue, but I do know this. I think he's one of those guys people love to hate, no matter what color your skin is. But I think it's this. Here's what opens up liberal eyes like that faster than anything else. Guys that are on the left, even if hopefully they have some, common sense that they can find some moderation or some middle ground. What opens those guys' eyes faster than anything is when they start getting attacked, when they start getting punched. And that's when they're like, oh, that's what happened with, Tulsi Gabbard. That's what happened with Joe Rogan. That's what happened with Elon Musk. That's what happened with, the list goes on. Bobby Kennedy in a lot of ways. I think it's what's happened with Stephen A. It's happened with Bill Maher. Because the left comes at you. They devour. Now, again, when it comes to places of power, they circle the wagons and they know how to support each other and they don't come out public. But the average progressive lefty Riri will attack. And once that happens, because they come at you with their insanity and their lack of critical thinking, and no, they don't have any ideals or ideas, just loud, ba, 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 throwing their woke snowballs at you. That'll bring you over to, that'll bring you
pushing them back towards the center.
Yeah, it definitely pushes you over to a place where you're like, you know what? I'll prove to you that you're wrong. And that's what Stephen A. is doing. We talked about a little bit yesterday. We were taping ahead of the Zelensky-Trump meeting, but I put out a short video yesterday with my analysis and my interpretation and commentary based on what I was seeing happening with that meeting yesterday. I was pretty excited about what I saw. It was pretty historic yesterday. There's a few historic things that are going on with Trump. And, of course, what is the left going to do? There's a time when Trump walked them through. He's got those shelves in there with his hats on there where, people's like a little gift shop, like a little place. And everybody's like, oh, look at him. He's showing off his hats. And they're come on. He's making jokes about it all. He pulls down the one that says 4 more years. He's kind of rubbing it in to Zelensky, but he's also trolling the media. But the left can't get off of that stuff. But yesterday was a pretty historic day. I mean, look at this. These are the leaders of the European Union countries. And, you got the cabinet members in the back. But they're sitting around. I mean, they are. I mean, Zelensky's there to grovel. His attitude is completely different. Some of the hot mic things that were caught were pretty interesting. The Italian prime minister, the lady there, she basically said, "I can't stand talking to my media." She said, "You deal with this all the time, don't you?" And like, "Oh, he's so good at it." Like, "I can't stand talking to my media." So you can only imagine how bad that is in Italy. But yeah, there was some mutual respect that was there. Trump pointed, when he was posing for this picture, he pointed over at the large picture on the wall where he got shot and it's saying "fight, fight, fight." That iconic image. And he said, "That was not a good day." I think that was a little jab back at Zelensky saying, "You think you're at war? I got shot, dude." But he's in here showing him the stuff. I mean, Trump's giving away gifts. So he's got Art of the Deal back there on the bookshelf.
I saw a couple of interviews with the different leaders and stuff, and they talked about the respect that they have for him, and they had for him during his first term.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't hear that on any other news network.
Well, and one of the leaders had said that there was more that was done in the last 6 months, or even in the last few weeks, than in the last 3.5 years. That's very telling. That's very telling of when you look at people say, "Oh, the people on the world stage, they hate Trump. They hate us. We're a laughing stock." I don't see that as being true. I just don't. I think he demands respect. I think it is peace through strength. I think he's ended 6 wars in 6 months. He's about to get this thing under control. They're redrawing these maps. Somebody said, well, let's have a meeting again in 2 months. Trump said 40,000 people will be dead in 2 months. We got to get this done now. I mean, he was getting Putin on the phone yesterday, making the deal freaking happen. And when they asked Zelensky, what do you want from the U.S.? Do you not want boots on the ground? Do you want more weapons? Do you want more money? He's like, everything. We need everything. Well, Trump responded to that. He said there will be no U.S. troops in Ukraine, and I appreciate that because Zelensky saying he wants everything. Well, you don't get everything, buddy. That's just a fact. So let's play this clip.
What kind of assurances do you feel like you have that going forward and past this Trump administration, it won't be American boots on the ground defending that border?
Well, you have my assurance, and I'm president, and I'm just trying to stop people from being killed, Charlie. Look, they're losing from 5,000 to 7,000 people a week.
What?
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's how are they not out of people yet?
I mean, that's a lot of people.
And that's what they would do is fight until the other side's out of people.
Well, the crazy thing about it is, how can you sit there and have a guy who's obviously putting forth the effort to try to bring peace and an end to this, who says, I just want to stop people from dying, and the left is losing their effing minds constantly with all of their accusations about this guy?
Yeah, they're still believing, lies and don't believe that. And somebody says, the election wasn't rigged. And no, if there was the Russian collusion hoax and all that kind of stuff, that's part of rigging an election or attempt to rig an election.
Yeah.
And so they don't believe that, and they're hung up on the felony counts, which are all the exact same thing. They can't name them.
So here's a comment underneath that on X. Somebody said, saying no to troops while Ukraine faces attacks is a betrayal.
That's a moron. That's somebody not sending their own kids.
The people would just send your damn self.
Yeah. You can do that. You can sign up with the
They'll take you.
Legion and go over there and fight all you want to, buddy.
I mean, and then, you go over there, Trump's Nobel Prize is in danger. It looks like nobody's taking Trump seriously. Russia launched a missile drone. We talked about this yesterday, Steve. You and I did personally about Russia did a drone attack on a Ukrainian city. Well, nobody wants to talk about the fact that while Zelensky was there at the White House, Ukraine was carrying out bombings elsewhere.
Yeah, it was going back and forth all night, last night.
Yeah. So you talk about how many people are being lost in this deal. And these people are like, well, we got to put boots on the ground. See, that they warmongers, dude. They don't want peace. They want chaos, and they're happy to sacrifice you and anybody else to get what they want. Whatever it takes.
They just don't want Trump to get a win. Period.
They don't.
It has nothing to do with anything. That's the main thing. They don't want, nobody on the left wants Trump to get a win.
Yeah.
And that's freaking sad that we live in America and we don't want the president to succeed. Yeah, Biden sucked as a president, but I didn't hope that he would, suck at everything he did.
I mean, how many times did I sit there and say that these guys are trying to crash the plane? I don't want them to. You know, I mean, I may not like who the pilot is, but I certainly don't want him crashing the plane, bringing the whole thing down. And this is a perfect example. Like, they talk about him federalizing Washington, D.C. and getting the crime off the street. You know who likes it? You know who is enjoying the fact that these criminals are cleaned off the street right now? People that live in D.C.
The residents of D.C.
Yeah.
They said in the last week, the murder rate is down 86% in 7 days.
Ain't that something?
86%. That's insane.
Ain't that something?
It's I can remember growing up and that D.C. being one of the murder capitals of the United States. It would be like them and Chicago, certain other cities. Why would you not want some help to come in and stop that, put a stop to that? Because you want your people to die?
Yeah. Now, when you look at this clip, there are people underneath this clip who are saying that these people are being paid to say these things. That's how stupid the left is, that these people are actually being paid for these words. Play the clip.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact that America is secure, safe, stable.
Elliot Reed says he supports the federal involvement.
As a moderate, as a centrist, I think something needs to be done. I have 3 kids. I'm about to start teaching next week.
Yeah.
I was in Willis, Texas last night and at the Chick-fil-A. And there was a police officer sitting in there, and he's, off duty, but working security. And it's in Willis, Texas. There's nothing going on. But I was glad to see him, there, because I knew that, hey, I like a little extra safety.
Yeah.
It's like, I said hey to him, and of course I wasn't. I'm glad he was carrying because that time I was not.
Well, good thing a truck didn't run through there and hit you guys while you were tasting your chicken sandwich.
They had flowers on the table. It was romantic dinner.
Look at y'all, man. And y'all did Chick-fil-A dine in.
Yeah, we did. It was just one of those things. We were like, it was late in the evening, and I didn't want to mess with the kitchen, and we were like, let's just run down there. And I was headed to Dairy Queen, but then apparently I don't know where Dairy Queen is. I saw Chick-fil-A, and
fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you.
So I had to send you a picture of the flowers on the table.
When you're with Party Foul. Now, there are people saying, hey, we get to go. This is the first time we've been able to go out to dinner for years. There were people who were literally saying that in Washington, D.C. We can go to dinner. We don't have to worry about it. We're not going to get mugged. We're not going to get shot, stabbed in the back, robbed, raped, none of those things. People want to live in safety. It's not that hard. And they're going to have people out there who are going to say, he's making it less safe by putting people out there that they're wearing their mask and their eyes. Oh, shut up. Shut up. And Bill Barr testified yesterday. We talked about this last week or the week before, talking about how there were the subpoenas that went out for people to come and testify about the Epstein files. Bill Barr testified yesterday, and he said he didn't see info that would implicate Trump in the Epstein case. That's what he said. He said, and Bill Barr doesn't like Trump, I can assure you that. And he said, if it had been there, there's no question about it, that the Biden administration would have tried to leak that information and put it out there.
That's 100% facts. There's no way he's implicated in anything.
Yeah, former Attorney General Bill Barr told House investigators on Monday that he never saw anything that could tie President Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein's sordid crimes. Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said.
Did he say that about any other former presidents?
We don't know. We don't know.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know, too. He said that if we had seen anything that would implicate President Trump in any of this, and he believed that if there had been anything pertaining to President Trump with respect to the Epstein list, he felt like the Biden administration would probably have leaked it out. As, of course, Comer citing Barr's testimony.
Now, do you think maybe that Trump and them have something that they're holding, they're not leaking because of maybe it's somebody that's about to run for president on the Democratic side and they're going to use it against them?
I personally, I don't think the Epstein list is that exhaustive. I think there are people who were associated with Epstein. Everybody will say, oh, everybody. I mean, it wasn't that exhaustive, but yeah. And speaking of attorney generals, our friend Andrew Bailey did get named co-deputy director of the FBI. I knew that was going to happen. I could not say it yesterday on the show. That was the big news that I said was coming. I am going to go out on a limb here and say that I think it's going to be a temporary stop for him. I think there is something next because I don't think he's going to stay at co-deputy director. I think they're getting his feet wet in the DOJ, and we are going to see what happens next.
I asked this to you yesterday, off air, but we talked about that. That's never happened before where there was a co-director.
No, never before.
Why would you do that as a co-director?
Well, I think again they're given some exposure and some security clearance that you can have as a deputy director that maybe you couldn't have in another position. And I think they want to expose Andrew to a couple of things, get his feet wet, as I said, because I think if I'm speculating correctly, if I'm looking at the tea leaves and prophesying, I think Pam Bondi might have just appointed the person that might be her replacement. I said it from the very beginning. People kept asking me who the AG should be. I said it was just not Matt Gaetz or Pam Bondi for sure. I said I think it should be Andrew Bailey. And I think it's going to happen.
You think she's on the way out?
Yeah.
You think she knows it?
I don't know. I think she does.
Because of something she will or won't do? Or
I think she's just on her way out.
Okay.
I think it's going to be time. And I think it's going to be Andrew Bailey. But I don't know that. But I did get the call yesterday morning. I did find out that he was going to be the deputy director of the FBI. Now, I did not know he was going to be co-deputy director. I did not know that because my immediate question was, what's going to happen to Dan Bongino? And they said, we don't know. So I think Bongino's focused on one thing. Andrew's going to be focused on another thing. But I like it.
Well, what if Bongino's on? What if he is stepping out?
He's not.
And you bring a co in to get him trained up a little bit, and then he can step out. It makes it easier transition, and then he'll go back to talking on
not going to happen. Won't happen.
You don't think? Okay.
Nope. Won't happen. Dan's not going anywhere.
I just figure, they pull these people from social media influencers to go up and work in the White House. I just don't think that works.
Who's a social media influencer?
Well, I'm talking about you. Well, I said Dan Bongino.
He's not, though.
He was.
He was also an FBI. He was a Secret Service agent and a New York City cop.
No, I get that. And then you have Graham went up there for a little bit, and then he's off. I guess.
Yeah, but Graham had a specific job.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jam had a specific job.
I don't know how I feel about all of that.
I mean, you want more bureaucrats?
I think. Well, I'm just saying. I think they pull it because it reinforces the Trump base. Because it's his, it is his people and stuff like that. That's like, what if they called you and told you to come work in the White House?
They did, and I said no.
Yeah. Why did you say no?
Christy Noam said, and I said no. I didn't want that. That ain't who I am. Okay. That's not what I do. That's one thing. That's one thing that's made me successful. Is not only do I know who I am, I know who I'm not.
Yeah.
It's so I knew that wasn't going to be the deal for me. Absolutely not. And listen, I love Graham. Graham can make whatever choice he wants to make, but I knew Graham wasn't going to step there very long either.
Yeah, but I was just like, look how Dan Bongino make a lot of money back on air.
He got money.
But he didn't know how much he was losing until he gets up there.
Oh, he knew.
You realize
he knew how much he was giving up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and it's not about money, and I think Dan made that pretty daggum clear. I mean, he was going up there because he felt like that was a calling for him to do something. And no, I think it's good to go. But Dan ain't going anywhere. Dan's got money.
You think if he leaves, do you think he has to sign all kind of where he can't say a word about anything?
Well, he's already signed those.
Yeah. So.
He's already signed those. So, again, got to be careful with how you handle all that stuff.
Yeah, that's not something I would want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want any of that information that you're not supposed to leak.
I be careful with all that stuff. But no, I'm Dan ain't going anywhere. Dan's fine, and he's going to be doing that. But I think we'll see what happens with Andrew. It's an interesting move. I mean, which tells me, to your point, the fact that they made a co-deputy director, which they have not ever had, something's going on.
Yeah.
Something's going on. Begs the question. Greg Abbott didn't follow through on his promise to arrest the Democrats that left their responsibility in Texas. They came back. There they are in the Capitol building. There's no handcuffs. Nobody's getting arrested. They just come in business as usual.
Getting arrested.
Well, I know. It was exactly what I said, because he's made that threat before and he didn't follow up with it. But that's the deal. Greg Abbott, empty promises. Come on, man. I'm gonna have to run for governor, aren't I?
Well, they weren't gonna. They were. No, you're not running for nothing. We just talked about this. They threw their little hissy fit and they ran off, and now they're back because their paychecks got cut off. That'll bring you back. I'm telling you, money will bring you back.
Well, you don't make any money in that job.
Yeah, but making zero. And how long is
that ain't a job you do to make any money right there. Yeah. That wasn't about them coming back because of the money. They come back because, again, they're shirking their responsibility. At some point you got to come back, but they come back in there like a bunch of tourists walking into the Capitol building with their grins on their faces. You ought to be there and just.
They ought to find their doors locked.
Yeah. Well, the lock should have been changed.
Yeah.
Pecker Woods. Look at them.
Walk in your office and find out they done hired somebody else in your position.
Yeah. There's all kind of things we could do to them. Yeah. Little glitter bombs and confetti. Some of those little queer cheerleaders from the NFL could be prancing around in there. They're back, though, but again, man, what's wrong with Texas? It's football season, y'all. Football season. Here. There it goes. Let them scrap. Uh-oh, watch out. Watch out. Why the fat dudes? What are you going to do? Try to tackle that guy?
Yeah, he was getting down. He's getting that low block on it.
He ain't going to pick that dude up. My gosh, man. Saints fan and a Jaguars fan.
It's just preseason, too.
I mean.
It's not even.
What is wrong with people, man? And golly, what is this? What am I watching here? This is crazy. Go back. Just look at dude's belly coming out of there. Look at pants came down. Holy. Man, don't. Oh, he going back for more? They're going to slip and fall down? Golly, he hit the ground hard. That dude weighs 300 pounds. What you going to do? Say something. Then he's going to throw another punch. I love watching out of shape people try to fight. The only thing I like better than that is when they start snatching wigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fun.
They get out in the street and them nails start flying off and them wigs and them weaves come pulling out. I like all that, man. Oh, it's insanity, man, the world we're living in. That ain't winning, folks. That ain't winning. If you missed my opening monologue, go back and listen to it. It'll inspire you. Get on the Make Wellness team. Make Wellness. Go to watchchad.com, right at the top of the homepage, watchchad.com, where all the fun stuff is. Steve, we got some rebranding. We got some rebranding going on. We're going to kind of be under construction for a little while. We got a little bit of a transition, but we're changing some of the flavor around here starting the first week of September. We're going to be moving to 10 Central Live, 10 a.m. Central Live. And I encourage everybody to join me before the noise at 7 a.m. Central, Texas time.
I'm going to get me a studio sponsor.
You are?
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? In all the years I've done this, I've never had a studio sponsor. Like, I've never had anybody that says, hey, we want to be, welcome to the Chad Prather Show from the blah, blah, blah studios.
Yeah. I have to get, I want something that I could use. Like, let me see, like a car dealership or a gun, like a gun manufacturer.
Yeah. Like Smith & Wesson.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some good, stuff something I would use coming to you from the such and such.
The Make Wellness Studios.
Make Wellness Studios.
You just sponsor yourself.
Yeah, I know, but
that's not what you're looking for, though.
No, I'm looking for some cha-ching.
Yeah, you want that money like that girl that's a soil biologist.
Yeah.
I know you, boy. I know how you are.
Money pays bills. I like money.
It does. So. It also gives you high blood pressure and high blood sugar and pressure from the IRS.
Can you imagine a big company's name right above my head, right up here? Or even a little company?
Well, you got Meat Church on your head. Why don't you call Matt Pittman and tell him to give you some money?
No, I love his product. I use his product all the time. It's one of those deals.
See, that's the problem. You ain't asking.
Yeah.
You better start asking for some money, man.
Yeah, but I don't. Somebody like him don't need me.
See, you're already underselling yourself. You sound like you have excuses like the girl with long COVID that's a PhD in soil biology that we talked about earlier. You got all these freaking excuses.
Yeah, that's true.
I just
Matt Pittman,
gave you an
call me up.
Opening monologue. I'll text Matt Pittman. I just gave you an opening monologue about winning.
Put it over my hat or something.
Winning.
I don't know the value of it, though. That's the thing. What's the value?
Put a dollar sign on it. $100,000.
I like $100,000.
Yeah. Manifest it. You bring elephants into your life.
Yeah.
Do some money.
Yeah, it never quite worked with money. It works with everything else.
Steve will do it too. He'll be like, "We're going to manifest this. We're going to bring."
I'm a manifester. I do believe the words that come out of our mouth and we speak it, and confess it with our tongue and put it out there. So you watch. Phone's starting to ring for studio sponsors for both of us. How about that? They can studio sponsors for both.
Well, I could use some of that cha-ching too, because I'm about to build a secondary studio. So we're going to have all kind of angles for the Chad Prather show. All this stuff's under construction in my world.
Coming to you from somewhere in America.
Yeah. We're going to have all the studios here, and we're going to have different angles and all kind of stuff. So it's all under construction. So anyway.
I've got stuff piled you can't see the other stuff piled around me as I'm ready to do the switch over of stuff. So
we got equipment everywhere, dude. Yeah. All right. Party Foul Steve, tell them where to find you, buddy.
At Party Foul Steve everywhere out there on the social medias and Venmo. Believe it or not, that works.
People send you some money, huh?
Yeah, somebody sent me a couple of bucks here.
Well, you know what you could do? You could call it. You could have, from the Venmo studios. And let that thing be self-funded.
Right up there.
And rock and roll, dude. Rock and roll. Anyway. All right, Party Foul Steve. I'll holler at you here in a minute. Stay out of trouble. Make sure you're following old Party Foul Steve. I love you, buddy. And at David Medina PDX is our producer. He's always right there behind the scenes, rocking and rolling. You hear him every now and then. And I'm at Watch Chad. Go to watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, click the little thumbs up button, leave us a comment. Thank you for participating in the chat today. It's a crazy world we're living in. You can't keep up with all this kind of stuff. And listen, if you're a food influencer, don't get hit by a car. All right? Like if you're sitting in the restaurant and the car comes through, maybe don't sit by the window or something like that, but keep your head on a swivel, folks. We're living in a crazy-ass world. Crazy-ass world. Trying to make some sense of it. Join me in the morning before the noise, 8-7 Central, right here, both on Rumble and YouTube. Still trying to get the RSS feed figured out on that thing. We can't get the podcast episodes to go out where you can listen to it audibly. But I'm enjoying this as much as I've enjoyed anything in a long, long time before the noise. I love you guys so much. Thank you for the support, all that you do. Make sure you're sharing these episodes, share the clips, share the social media posts, all the stuff. Please share it. And, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you then. God bless. Bye.